Today, we're going to walk through the integration scenario between Cognitus' contract lifecycle management and SAP Ariba. The process will start in Ariba sourcing with a request for quotation. Using Cognitus' CLM, we're able to pull clauses like FAR and DFARS compliance clauses from acquisition.gov or other external sites to the front of the sourcing event. This will alleviate issues of receiving bids and awarding business only to find out that suppliers reject your compliance, quality, or other clauses. Once we award the supplier based on commercials, clause acceptance, and other criteria, we will use Cognitus' CLM for contract creation, authoring, collaboration, e-signature, and execution. From here, we can create purchase requisitions that adhere to the contractually agreed upon prices and terms in Ariba buying and invoicing, or alternatively in SAP S/4HANA. Let's take a look at this in the system. We start our process in Ariba sourcing, where we can use templates and other tasks to be able to build and manage the integration between Ariba and contract lifecycle management. We can set our event settings, invite specific suppliers, list out the items or commodities that need quotes, and also start to introduce questionnaires, whether those are general terms and conditions or the FAR and DFAR clauses that we need to select. The system can dynamically select the specific compliance clauses that are needed based on things like the commodity codes or the values that are in question. Based on a task that we have here, starting the contract or starting the event, we can go ahead and actually trigger the pull of these FAR and DFARS clauses into our view. Now we can set these different clause types, allow specific responses, even see the attachments. And there can be one or multiple attachments that are assigned to any given clause line item, and we can make these required fields that respondents must answer before they're able to submit a bid. Once we publish the event, we can switch hats to that of a supplier where they receive this solicitation. We require them to review the prerequisites where they have to accept our agreements and also the clauses that have been pulled into the event based on the dynamic attributes we talked about before. And after they agree to all of the terms and conditions, they can go ahead and start to make their commercial bids. You can select which items, if not all, that they want to make a bid on, and then go ahead and submit pricing in there as well. After we receive all of the bids or the event ends, we're able to do a comparison. We can see all of the pricing and commercial terms that have been submitted by the suppliers, but also all of the answers to the required questionnaires, specifically the compliance clauses that we pulled into the sourcing event to ensure proper adherence. We can make a decision to award the scenario based on a couple different types of analysis, but ultimately we're going to choose the best bid and also the one that adheres to all of the compliance requirements. We can decide how to notify those that were awarded and those that were not as well. Now that we've awarded the supplier, we see a purchasing contract automatically created in our Cognitus CLM. Users can get notifications about the creation of these contracts, and we see a nice workflow created across the top to aid in the processing of this specific contract. We have both header and line item level details dynamically pulled in via the integration, and of course the clauses that were set at the sourcing event are pulled into the contract as well tool. This is a very robust CLM tool. It allows for contract creation, but also authoring and editing. We can go ahead and open the authoring tool, which provides native Microsoft Word-like features and functions to contract authors and editors. We can use redlining capabilities and even dynamically pull data sets like the clauses or line items into the document as tables or other ways that we might want to have that information made available. We have AI suggestion built into the tool as well, where we can go ahead and start to type in some specific wording and have our private large language model begin to recommend ways that we can make this wording better, more compliant, more adherent to what we're looking for. In just a few seconds, it will update with words and suggestions that are going to make the authoring and editing of this contractual document a lot easier for your users. Once we've made all of the edits and modifications that are required, collaborated both internally and externally, received potentially e-signatures from countersigning parties, we can go ahead and push this contract to the downstream system, either to SAP Ariba, like we will do, or even to SAP S/4HANA. After that trigger, the integration flow runs, and in just a few seconds, the contract workspace is created in Ariba. You can see the unique ID generated and referenced on the CLM contract, and also find that same contract workspace in SAP Ariba contracts. The last step will be to execute the purchasing, starting with a purchase requisition. So we can use Ariba buying like we see here, or we could create purchase requisitions directly in S4HANA. Either way, when users go to create a purchasing document for the specific products, we will see the contractually agreed upon price per yard with the awarded supplier here. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We're excited to share this and other innovations built by Cognitus in partnership with SAP to ensure our customers are successful wherever their business takes them.